Alright, hey everyone. This is going to be a really quick tutorial on the reverse green gate glitch. I've got some longer tutorials in the works right now, so keep your eye out for that. But for right now, I just wanted to do something quick to show people what is, in my opinion, sort of the easiest way to do the reverse green gate glitch. I think that this is one of the most important tricks that you can learn for Randomizer. And it doesn't really come up too often in the vanilla game, so even if you speedrun any percent or whatever, you might not know it. And I think a lot of people, I see a lot of people making it way harder on themselves. They're just like trying to jump into the door and just hope, spray and pray. And it's actually, the trick is much easier if you just normalize your setup. But first, we're going to go over how to enter the room. I have resigned myself to the fact that you're going to get hit for 20 upon entering this room. It's possible to go damageless. There are some interesting strats you can do. Rusty posted something like, okay, that was fun. That took up a bunch of time and a bunch of missiles. And generally speaking, 20 energy isn't that huge of a deal. So I think that there are two main methods to enter this room that I think are sort of worth learning, and they can be used in different situations. Situation one, let's say you have a bunch of missiles and maybe you're not really using them, oh, you've already got Spazer or something. This is basically just spray and pray. Come in here, angle down, shoot a bunch of missiles. Great. Works every time. Alternatively, if you want to conserve your ammo a bit more but you're willing to use up a super, you can get through here with just one missile and one super. You go in, shoot the big guy. You have to make sure that the missile hits the big side hopper. It can hit one of the other small side hoppers with the explosion as well, but it has to hit the big one for this to work. See, I mean, I just shot at air that time, so I'm probably going to pay for it by taking an extra hit. But then because the super's radius is so wide, you see it does that huge explosion. Anything that's caught in that explosion will take damage. So you can take all of them out with one super. And so either of those ways to enter the room are going to be good. I highly recommend learning the one missile, one super method. It's a bit more specific than just spraying and praying, but I think it'll really help you conserve on ammo and maybe even on health if you get better with it. So great, now we've entered the room, we've taken out those side hoppers, we've shot out this door. The next thing we have to do is we have to get Samus directly up against this wall, but facing right. And the way you can tell, first and foremost, you see there's a little bit of red on that pokes through the back of her suit because her whole chest area is red, the same color as her mask. If any of that is poking through, right now, you can see it's just barely noticeable that there's 1 pixel of red poking out. If I try to turn around, nothing happens. But if I'm completely against the wall, you can't see any red along Samus's arm. And I turn around, great. So the basic idea of this is, for the shot, you want to be directly up against this wall. And the best way to do that without high jump boots is to turn around once in the door and then turn around once again. So you move some arbitrary unit, probably 1 pixel left when you turn around left, and then you move 1 pixel right when you turn right. So it's basically has 0 effect on your position, but it allows you to gain that extra height. Now there are 2 ways to get into this position, with and without Moonwalk. With Moonwalk, easiest thing in the world. It's like you saw me do earlier. You can look at the top left of my input display. I hold shot, and then I hold left. Great job, very Very impressive. With Moonwalk, this is trivial, and if you use Moonwalk, great job. You have your normalized setup already. Uh, After explaining it without Moonwalk, I'll show you how to do the trick. But basically, yeah, you just Moonwalk up against that wall and you're in position. Now, the hardest part of the trick, in my opinion, is if you have Moonwalk off, getting in this position right here. And the best method that I have found, I figured this out from watching Sloter's gameplay. So what you have to do is do not be holding dash at all. You can see my input display in the top left. I am only hitting the jump button B. So I do a spin jump. I give myself enough momentum, and importantly, I let go of left before I've ever hit the wall. And then if I have left hit, if I'm not holding in left, then once I hit the wall, basically any time before I hit the ground, I can just gingerly tap right, and now I'm directly up against the wall. And then from there, it's just the same movement. So, how do you actually perform the trick? This depends on if you do or do not have high jump boots. With high jump boots, it's pretty simple. I'm not going to say easy because there is still the matter of timing. I actually struggled a lot with the high jump method first because I learned high jump lists, and that sort of comes up more often in randomizer, so I was more practice with this. So it's not easy, but it is simple. You aim diagonally up with your shoulder button. You can't hit up and right because you have to stay up against the wall. You aim diagonally up, you hold jump, and then you just shoot at the right time. Walk up there, great. We got the gate. We can close it down, do it again. Great, works every time. And this is because I have a feel for the trick. Eventually, you'll get a feel for the trick. The best visual indicator is you fire the shot roughly when Samus's head is going through this little mushroom guy on the wall. That one. So I switch to supers, angle up, jump, fire. Cool, we got it. And so once you get that feel for it, with this normalized positioning, you can get it almost every single time. Without high jump is arguably a little bit trickier in that you have to do both of these turnarounds that we talked about earlier that are having basically zero effect on your X position but giving you that height. So either moonwalk back into here or do your little turnaround against the wall, and then you jump, tap left on the D-pad. There's some lenience here, but basically you have to have left let go of by the time Samus has finished her turnaround animation, I believe. So it's pretty quick. And then the same thing going right. So what's important here is you have to turn around when you are below this wall up here. Otherwise, I turn around now, I don't land on the ledge because my X position hasn't actually gone left that 1 pixel to land on here. So I have to turn around. You can do it as a short hop like that. You can do a full hop and then wait until you've fallen down far enough and then turn left. Whatever you feel comfortable with. You can even like turn around and then bonk on the ceiling like that. Next, you select supers, angle up, and then you're going to jump, and you have to turn around before you hit that ceiling. Otherwise, it just ends up like that. Now, let's say you bonked on the ceiling, but you got the turnaround correct, you're still in the right position to just go like that again. You can just turn around again, because you haven't actually moved Samus yet. Same thing if you manage to get the jump, but you don't get the shot off, you forget to hit shoot or whatever. It's a lot of inputs. you're still in the right position. The only thing would be if you do something like that, for example. Now you're out of position. You're like, I have to get into position again. There we go. So select supers, angle up, jump, hit right before Samus reaches that ceiling, and then you're gonna shoot in the same place as the high jump, right as Samus's head is hitting that little mushroom stalk thing. And we go up there, we look, and great job. You can also listen if you have your game audio in. There will be like a little like a noise coming through, so you can listen for that. The most common thing, like you'll see, one of the really common things you'll see happen is, oh no, I hit the shoot button, but I didn't fire a shot. What happened? And what most likely happened there is that you were trying to fire during Samus's turnaround. So your shot was too early, but thankfully the game was nice to you and didn't actually fire your super. You can certainly... You can absolutely fire too late. Like there, that was just a little bit off. I didn't get it. Like if I fire there, obviously that's way off, and I can't get it. So the positioning is kind of tight. But I highly recommend that you use this normalized positioning for your X so that you're always in the right spot. So you will always be directly up against that wall. As long as you're not holding left or right for too long, you're always going to be in the right spot. And from there, I think this is the easiest way that you're going to get a feel for it. Because let's say I'm like trying to do something like, I'm trying to get it. I sort of like jump in the door. I'm like, ooh, did I get that? I don't know. Well, what part of the trick was wrong? I have no way of figuring that out. With this method, there are very easy visual indicators. I know I'm always up against that wall because I can't see any of Samus, and because when I turn around, Samus lands. I know I'm at the right spot because I just did a turnaround animation. I didn't move at all. Whereas here, I don't know, was my height wrong? Was I too far right? It's a lot harder to figure out. So I think this is both the best way to perform the trick and the best way to actually learn the trick in the first place. Alright, so we go in here, we get our item. Maybe it's not an E-tank, maybe it's a missile. And earlier I didn't get anything. I only got missile drops or whatever, and now, my health is, it's like 79 or something. So how can you get out of this room? The easiest way to get out of the room, in my opinion, while taking damage off the small side hopper, is to go from here, jump onto this little grapple block. If you come up a bit short, you can wall jump off of it, and then just jump against the wall and hold left. Maybe you get hit by nothing, like I did just there, but you're probably going to get hit by one of the small side hoppers. But that's fine, because again, those deal 20 damage without any suits, which is much better than the big guy dealing 80. The most important thing there is just have a plan. So you're not like, oh no, just sort of floundering in there. Like, you're not like, I don't know, just run through. And that time I died because I just took too many hits. But the big side hopper could have been there because their patterns are hard to follow. But yeah, and so that's basically the wave gate room. Hopefully this helped somebody. I would say the biggest thing is to take away from this. Obviously, this is the setup for the wave gate room, but also there is a setup like this for nearly everything in this game. Figuring out some way to normalize where your positioning is for tricks so that you're always performing it in the same way is really invaluable. That's why you'll see people doing stuff like in Kraid's room. That's why they lay the little bomb and turn around. Not because it gets them in necessarily the only good position for Kraid quick kill, because they know it's the same position every time. And just like this, you have the same position every time, so you can always get it, unless you do something like that. You're still gonna mess it up, but the more you keep like as many conditions as you can controlled, the better off you're going to be, and the more quickly you're going to learn. So that's going to be it for this tutorial. Hopefully this helped somebody out, and I hope you have a great day, night, wherever it is where you are.